time is 8:50, reconvening from the executive closed session. Go to item H. This is to consider an act for an action of termination regarding Peace Officer John Jenkins.
We have to make a motion on that, right?
Has to be a motion.
Okay. We have a motion.
I'll take a motion first.
I make a motion that we accept the termination regarding Peace Officer John Jenkins,
To affirm the action.
confirm
Of
the action
termination.
of the termination.
I'll second.
Have a second by Councilman Hardy to affirm the action. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. Unanimous. Next item on the agenda is item I. Consider and act on business permit request to operate MSD Logistics, formerly Bama Trucking, located at 7150 Whippoorwill. There it is.
I wonder why you stayed so long. No, I'm just.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Should have got you upset.
Yeah.
I'm Mike Young, me and my wife had run over here, Bramble Trucking, for I think approximately the last 3 years, and it just changed ownerships and names, and we'd like to continue working in the same spot, doing the same thing, under MSD Logistics.
Okay.
That's that place right next to the tamale or the.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
We don't need a motion, do we?
Yes, they're not supposed to transfer the
Okay.
business, so I
Okay.
think just a motion approving
Okay.
the new business.
And it's basically doing the same hours, the
Same
same
thing.
thing, same number of
Still
employees.
Nothing's changed.
And what was your name, sir?
Mike.
Mike.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept or issue the business permit to operate MSB Logistics, formerly known as Bramble Trucking.
I'll second that.
We have a second from Councilman Paul.
Thank you.
Okay, and all in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carried unanimous. Next item on the agenda is item J. Consider an act for a contract between the City of China Grove and all Texas towing for vehicle impound.
I've read that.
Did you get the new one?
This is a new
Is
one.
this the new one here?
This is the new one.
Oh, okay. Let's see, let's do.
Let's change, because we don't have an account under the police department. We don't have an account under the police department either.
An account?
Yeah, because it said payable to the police department or something on it. I was reading
No, it's
that.
paid to the city.
Said the-
We have changed a lot of, some of the language in here to be City of China Grove rather than China Grove Police Department.
So the fees would be payable to the city of China Grove, not to the police department?
It always was to the city of China Grove. What happens is Altex collects all the fees are handed to our police department individually, envelope each case, each impound. The city takes all that money, deposits it, then we pay Altex their share and contain ours. We don't have 24-hour service, so it's basically like subcontracting with them to have personnel to collect the money on behalf of our police department who has the towing, sends the tow over there.
So they
But
collect the
it's to
whole
the city.
thing.
We collect the whole thing. They collect it all. our chief or agent picks it up,
Then we pay them.
brings it to us, we account for every penny, and most of the time it's cash, yeah. And each one is in a separate envelope accounted for. We do our records, deposit the money, and then we send them a check for their share.
Oh, okay.
We're only allowed to keep $135 of each impound, right? And if,
And that varies, correct, Susan, depending on the impound of what
Well,
the amount might be?
the amount of the total impound charity
You're right.
depends on
days,
the size of vehicle, how many days.
Time and all that, yeah, exactly.
but if it stays there after 30 days and they auction it off, we split the auction.
They take off their fees and
Yeah.
and we split the remainder.
Chief, when I read this thing, it's talking about a towing service, tools and equipment for the purpose of vehicle maintenance. Would that be for our vehicles if they needed a tow?
For any vehicle that belonged to the city, for example, we had a flat tire that came out,
So they'll help us out.
Mhm.
helped us out,
Okay.
and those, we designate on the check that we write, and that this money is for whatever it was, a flat tire, the towing, or any other search of the vehicle. If we need a vehicle lifted up to where we can search underneath it, they provide that service, and they have the tools and everything that we need to take something to the park to search a vehicle, we have all the tools to do that.
Okay, but what about on an accident where they're tow the vehicles away? That's still gonna be by the contract ambulance with Bear County?
It'd be the same. I'm sorry about the ambulance.
Not,
I mean, contract towing company.
Yes, anything that we call them for,
They would do that.
they would do that, yes.
If we call for a tow truck for an accident out here, then they come and do it, not,
Now, when you have an accident situation, you have to explain to the driver of each car that they have a right to call their own towing company. And they recommend when I tell them, we have a agreement with the towing company, if you want us to call them, we'll start it for you. So in that case, it would be treated the same as any other company.
and they are currently doing accident tolls in Bear County, or?
I don't know who they tow. I know they tow for some private companies, and I'm not sure if they tow for the constable of Bear County or not. I'd have to ask.
Okay.
They're licensed with the, I can't remember the,
TDL, Texas Department of
yeah, the agency that covers, monitors towing companies.
Right.
They're licensed and bonded through them, so,
They have a little plate up there
yeah.
on the back of the vehicle.
Yeah.
So I have a question, like if an accident, is that vehicle automatically towed? If Altex comes out, they take it to their lot, or does the owner of the vehicle say you want to take it to the body shop?
Well, we had one the other day, the owner of the vehicle wanted it taken to his home. And he didn't prefer any special towing company, we told him we would call Altex, and we have an agreement with it. They came out, Altex came out and met with the driver, and they made the agreement to take it to his residence. So it's up to the driver first on an accident.
Yeah.
What I can see.
What about if something happens to that vehicle and the people decide to sue all of the towing company and the city of China Grove for towing that vehicle away and it gets damaged? What would happen there?
The same that would happen if we didn't have an agreement with them. They are responsible for any damage. When they come out, before they hook up, they take pictures, which we are doing also. They take pictures of the vehicle, take pictures of the contents of the vehicle, make sure nothing comes up missing, inventory of the vehicle. All that is documented before whoever even picks it up and leaves. That's one of the requirements that again, I keep calling with the state agency that monitors, they have to be able to prove that they didn't do that damage.
Okay.
They're required.
That's what that special provisions is in here, says talking about.
Is there any other discussion?
I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and continue to use these people. We've had very good results, made money from it, and they're taking most of the liability. They have the impoundment area to keep these vehicles safe and monitored. So I make a motion that we contract with the Allstate towing for vehicle. I'm sorry, Alltex towing for vehicle impoundment.
In other words, consider and,
I'll consider it.
to affirm the contract that we have in front of us right now.
You got it.
I'll say.
Have a second from Councilman Trainer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? No, carried unanimous. Next item on the agenda is item K. Do I have a motion to table this?
I'll make a motion to table that item.
I think that should be no action.
Oh, no
No
action
action.
taken?
Mhm.
Okay.
No action? Okay. It's a motion, right?
Or just no action?
No action
No,
taken.
don't take any action.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is item L. Consider an act to approve China Grove Lions request to plant trees on city property.
Can I kind of change that a little bit? I know at the last Lions Club meeting, we had talked about planting a tree. After possibly talking to the city to see how they felt about it. To see maybe if they kind of preferred where we could possibly plant that tree. Where the Lions Club or the Lions International has a thing where if you do certain things, like environmental things or provide certain things, you can get like a little patch saying you did this environmental thing. We haven't really per se, yes, this is what we want to do. It was kind of more in the discussion, but before we decided to actually do it, we needed to get the permission of the city to see how they felt about us planting the tree.
Well, then just in the motion, if you want to do it, say one tree or two trees or no trees. Is that what you're asking? Kathy?
Well,
Well, and not only that, but where would you like it planted?
yeah.
On the west side from
You
those
know-
windows.
Y'all know Jim Turner's the one that's requesting us on there.
Yeah.
He came by this morning, 7:30 in fact, and he said he's gonna check out here in the front. And he thinks he's gonna be able to get a pretty big tree. He's gonna contact the 811 and check the lines, make sure the lines are clear there, and then, plant it. So that's why it's on the agenda, and that's where he's thinking, and he's only talked about one tree so far.
Yeah.
That's an excellent idea. Is that west window from that
That's,
side?
he came and asked us.
Really?
That first came out, when they, we suggested out front. Of
Yeah.
course, it can't conflict with any of the
Right,
overhead
lines and
wire,
stuff,
lines,
yeah.
or anything like that, but I mean, we have other trees.
And are there sewer lines out there?
They're in the back.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm just thinking long-term,
I think,
if we did decide to put it out there, would the roots bother anything that's out there?
no, there's nothing out there like a
Okay.
septic system or anything. I think there might be an underground wire going from the meter to that pole, for the light on it. But hopefully they can, trace that
Yeah,
and
trace that.
play around it.
And then if we do, how would the city feel about the Lions Club putting up something saying,
Donate it.
yeah,
That's up to the council.
Well, that's, kind of why it's on there. We need to know how the council feels about doing this, and maybe just get a little bit of recognition for the China Grove Lions Club. But I am, at this time, I would only say one tree, and out of the front, because I know that y'all's office window is awful bright in the afternoon when the heat comes in.
How big a tree are you talking about?
I don't know, it's up
Because
to,
they had a thing on TV one time, I heard it, they said, don't plant the big tree, because if you plant the small tree, in 5 years, it'll catch up with the big tree. that they grow fast.
I think that's something he does, and he's on the Lions Club, and, he'll choose that month.
It depends on the tree.
Yeah. Jim Turner has checked with somebody over there on Foster Road, next to
Pretty
the
trees. Rodeo club.
rodeo place, and they have given, suggested a couple of different trees, but the Lions Club has not actually voted on which one of those we would do. We just need to know if we can do it, and then after, if we get the permission from the city, then we would go ahead and take it from there.
Well, I have no problem, I can make a motion for that. We can just make a motion, I'll make a motion that we, accept one tree from the City of China Grove Lions Club to be planted on the property of the City of China Grove with some type of small plaque or something for recognition of the Lions Club doing that. Is that what you need?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll second it.
Have a second from Councilman Melissa. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried unanimous.
Real quick, Mayor, there was Saul's had a deal of $50 rebate for trees that you planted. I don't know if that applies over here or not, maybe check that out. As long as you didn't plant it on the north side of the construction. So it was per tree, up to 3 trees.
Maybe y'all can,
$50,
call
$50.
CGM.
Yeah.
I don't know
I'll
if
see
you-
that
I
the
don't know
next
if you
one,
need-
Reminding them.
yeah. It'll probably be not the next one, but the one after, because the next one is mostly for the trail drivers' purpose.
Okay. Item M, discuss creation of ordinance to place no solicitor signs on existing posts at entrances to subdivisions.
I think it's an excellent idea.
I think it needs to be all posted throughout the entire city.
Well, yeah, in all our little home area,
It's-
Yeah, because it's
the
bad,
sign.
I'm in Terra Bonita,
I would say going in each one at every entrance.
All
and
signs.
Yeah, we
each,
get some shabby people come through our neighborhood. I had one the other day, I didn't even answer the door, it's like, go away.
I know the mayor's had a couple of phone calls from people in some of the areas that solicitors have come to their house.
I know
They'll
they
push
issued,
ours too.
they
Yeah.
issued some citations on
Subdivision, that
that.
would be
Did you impound a
anything,
vehicle from that too?
would you consider anything
Yeah,
else?
you could go to Terra Bonita and there's telephone poles, right? And then you could go to down to the tree.
We can't do it on any of the, state highway.
Any of our
Yeah,
right
right.
ways, like.
Well, I think anywhere we have a speed limit sign on the entrance of any subdivision, that's where you start
Well,
going.
we could put our right of ways. I
In
mean,
this-
our roads are in our right of ways. So, and all the utility poles are in the right of ways.
So if we got a stop sign leading into a subdivision, we can put on that stop sign?
It's in the right of way, Any pole in the right of
Our right of way or
way.
state?
Our right of way.
You're saying
We
you
can't
can
do
or
anything in
cannot?
the state.
Yeah, we can't do
We
anything
can
in
do
the
a
state.
cleanup, they can disappear.
Let's start out with doing it on every speed limit on the entrance of subdivision, then go from there.
We might as well just do it more blanketed, I would think.
And then, I mean, that's almost.
Well, y'all decide now if you want to do the ordinance, and get that and add
Yeah, I want to create a ordinance, I'll make a motion.
the, this discussion and all.
Yeah.
No, he's talking about, we're talking about putting up a no soliciting sign
Oh, you talking about putting up a sign? I thought you meant
Yes.
make ordinance and you can't put these.
No.
No, make
We
it,
already got that.
Oh.
We need to have a sign.
to have a sign with the ordinance number on it.
You have to have an ordinance to place signs.
Because you put them
So
up,
I wanna
put
make-
them on all the.
That's my thought.
Not if I'm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we need to, okay, so we need to make a new ordinance saying that we want to, have a no solicitor sign,
At the end, wherever y'all want.
yeah,
But you
either
want to place it
beginning
throughout
or,
the city.
beginning, can it say beginning and or middle and or end, so it can cover everything
With a penalty?
Yeah.
with fine? Well, I think it's a
Well, there's a
ordinance.
fine, the ordinance holds the
Yeah, the
fine.
ordinance
so we
says
call-
it has to be fine.
The ordinance has a fine with it, that's just letting them know, just like the fireworks signs, we did the little ones, there's an ordinance prohibiting
I think
fireworks.
those are,
Everybody
And then
saw
you-
those.
those are
And you
good, that
can
can
put a metal sign on a post that's permanent,
That's what I
that
say.
says no solicitation by
in this
city
neighborhood,
ordinance,
yeah.
or, you know,
Yeah.
no solicitation in the ordinance will be enforced.
The solicitors are bad.
Bad, yes, and there's some weird cookies.
AT&T's got.
So y'all want an ordinance
Yes,
created?
yes, we need to create one, yes.
I'm sorry.
Is that
I got a
fine
long
with
trip,
you?
man.
Is that
You're just
fine
gonna
with
go jerk them off, you're gonna go jerk them off.
I'll take you back there.
So,
I got a lot of polls.
So we have Alice with a,
I think we have one or two more things, guys.
Okay,
question?
and when you're, can you check to see maybe how much those signs would be, or is we just gonna just?
Oh, yeah,
Once we do an ordinance,
I'm
I mean,
saying-
once we said, now we said, yes, we want to create an ordinance to
then
do
we'll
that.
decide exactly where they're gonna be in the ordinance. The ordinance will state.
And
where
what exactly will be on the sign
Uh-huh.
at another
So
meeting.
it can be enforced.
We'll bring
Yeah,
the
the
ordinance
sooner
to
the
you,
better.
and you'll say where you're
Yeah.
going.
The sooner the better on that, I agree totally.
And I would say they wouldn't be over $30 a piece. I mean, I'm thinking a stop sign, I think, is around $30 or $40.
How much are the stop signs? I was wondering.
I think they're about $30. I priced them not long ago, but we have to use the bigger ones now too, so.
You might want to look at the, when you create that ordinance, it says soliciting peddlers and what have you, all of that. There's a whole bunch of language there.
Okay.
I mean, they make a sign for that. Okay, that takes care of item M. Next item is item N. Discuss use of nuisance ordinance to regulate mud on streets caused by residential commercial traffic.
Well, I'll talk on that because I've had, we're having problems in the, Sheriff Anita subdivision with, people using their yards and going off their driveways to park vehicles. And it's been really ugly weather, it rains, and we have mud that's been trapping all over our roads, which is a nuisance. And second, some of the vehicles, we have found out, are business vehicles or trailers that go against an ordinance that we have with the, what is it, Susan?
Parking the,
Yeah, parking their commercial vehicles on properties. And these, for instance, there's a vehicle that's being parked with a large, is it 10 trailer, yeah, that's prohibited. And it comes out every morning out of mud and water, and it comes down the streets, and it just coats it nice and pretty with all kinds
So do we not have an ordinance?
I think I was gonna ask you to look on, the ordinance I put in your, packet,
Mhm.
the nuisance ordinance, the one that's B
Yes.
07607B. If you go to page 5, and you look at, item T, like Tom, if you read that, I believe that will cover, it says, the possessor and/or owner of property adjacent to a public roadway in the city shall keep the owner or possessor's property and the property within the public right-of-way or public easement abutting the pavement and/or travel portions of the public roadway free and clear of high grass and weeds and other objectionable, unsightly, or unsanitary manner of whatever nature unsightly or unsanitary matter of whatever nature shall include, without limitation, grass, weeds, brush, or other living material in excess of 12 inches in height. So I think that might, it says whatever travel portion of the public roadway, and unsightly or unsanitary.
Because what they're doing, their properties are becoming unsightly, and then that's being brought on into our city roads.
But I think this, on the agenda, is just to address whether, you know, this,
This will take care of the problem.
and an attorney can make that decision, but if you read it, it sounds to me like unsightly or unsanitary can mean a lot of different things.
Can we get Mr. Mead to review that and get
Yeah.
an opinion on that?
I think we do need something there, if they're parking these vehicles and they're illegally parked, in other words, we've got a parking rule.
Well, some of those fit in it and some don't. You know,
Yeah.
some,
The city, the subdivision of the city of China Grove, down here, Bonita, has really gotten, there's a handful of residents that really have taken advantage of the subdivision by, just not following their ordinances and keeping their place, and at least in some, it's in an unsightly, I mean, go through there, you'll see what I'm talking about, you know. And there's ordinance that, matter of fact, this number 7 takes care of a lot of things that don't even have to do with the mud and all that stuff with some of the residents, but it needs to be enforced. Someone has to be, one of the officers or someone has to go and, you know, be able to present this to them and tell them what they're doing and go send them a letter. I don't know what you guys do, how the process works on that. But if we don't take hold on it now, we're gonna end up, nobody's gonna wanna live here, aren't you, because of that situation. You know, you have your residents that are very, very proud of ownership and do very well, and then you have those that, and that's why we had these ordinances made. Now we need to reinforce them. And if we need to make another ordinance in reference to, what you were saying,
We got it.
we can, but I think we have it. I think we just need to get an attorney to just make sure we are
Probably catch
acting
all.
correctly. I'm sorry,
This probably catches it.
I think it.
that number 7,
Probably
T.
catches it, but let me tell you what T was designed for, it's designed for a right of way. You know how you don't own the property out by the street in front of your house, or on the
Yes,
side of the
yes.
house, but you must clean it up to the street. That's what this is made for.
Well, there, you
But
know, when they're
this-
parking
We
there,
don't enforce this, but that's what it was made for. But this,
But
I
see,
think
that's
this
what
would
they're-
catch it, right?
what about-
Objectable or unsightly.
see what they're doing, like they park in their,
In the mud.
in the mud that goes to their backyard, you know, the double gates and stuff.
Yeah,
There's
Jen
no,
was telling me.
yeah, there's no pavement, nothing, just mud. I wish you could go by and look at this one residence. That's unreal.
Well, we went back there on Bonita yesterday, and there was nothing but mud. Did you
Yes.
see coming out of?
That's
There
from
were
these,
these-
that's from this
what
one trailer, and he runs a business. He brings his I don't know if he owns the trailer, but he's bringing, that is his livelihood, what he's doing is there at his house, and he travels with it to make his money, and he brings his trailer and his truck back. Being it belongs to somebody or not, I don't know if he's, you know, subcontracting, but regardless, it is for business use.
The only problem I see is when we have something like a CPS truck or a water board truck, they wanna park their truck right next to the pole in the ditch.
Well, let me
And
tell you
that-
something
they go,
about.
they go down.
Well, let me
and
tell you
they
about
park there.
CPS. I don't know about water board, but I know for a fact, when they do stuff like that, or they get stuck or whatever,
They'll clean it up.
they are to clean it up. That is part of their,
Responsibility.
yes, for their utility. I know that for a fact. I don't know about SALS, but CPS, yes. I'm not worried about those guys. I'm worried about this happening every day.
Yeah.
This is an everyday affair. There's 4 houses all in the thing, you can't miss them. So if this does it, we're fine, but I still think we need to have Mr. Mead review this, just to get us the okay, so then these guys can do what they need to do.
This also addresses the noise, the decibel too, on page
Yes.
4. Okay,
That gentleman.
addresses the noise, and we do have a decibel meter, I think,
Yeah,
facility.
that one.
Is there a limit on the time that, you know, like, some people, they play that loud music?
Between 6 a.m. to 11 p.m.
11 p.m. No, they play
There's
louder.
two different
Longer
times.
than that.
In excess of 75 decibels between the hours of 6 a.m. and 11 p.m. or 65 decibels between the hours of 11 p.m. and 6 a.m.
Okay. Okay, so on item N, we need to check with the attorney to see that the police department can enforce.
But this applies to what our complaints are, and if he says yes, then he can, you know, write it.
Okay.
I had an anonymous letter I was brought to me today from a resident down in Terra Bonita with complaints. And I've had phone calls, so, and it upsets myself just to see it, because it's not, it's, you know, shouldn't be.
Anything else on item N? No? Last one, the council reports announcements. Item A, the Old Chisholm Trail Drivers will be coming through China Grove on February 12th, around 9:15 p.m. a.m.
And where are they gonna be?
They're coming down 87, like from 1604. And the China Lions Club will be serving breakfast. It consists of sausage, biscuits, sausage, gravy, coffee, and hot chocolate. At the CNF construction site, all the way to the very back, there's a building back there with a covered thing, and we'll be set up back under there. But they plan on coming down 87 around 9:15, so just want to let the police department know, and, you know, that you'll be seeing some horses and buggies, and probably they normally come like with,
They're escorted by the constable's department.
but they have like
A radio bus.
yeah, radio type bus where they talk out over it, you know, so just in case if you get any phone calls about it, because they'll be coming down the east coast. And they're normally there for about maybe hour and a half. And then they leave and they'll head toward, they have a meeting place. Other than that, the Coliseum where they all meet, and then they go from there over to the Coliseum for the, over the stuff of the rodeo and stuff. So, that's basically, we just needed to let y'all know, anyone is more than welcome to come and have biscuits and gravy.
What time will it be there, Kathy?
They're gonna be there about 9:15, the line comes morning about 8:30 to get everything all set up. So we are ready for them when they come through. It's very simple. We've done this for many years, but we'll be all the way in the very back. There's almost like a carport or something where we can set up and we kind of get a little bit out of it.
Any other announcements?
Has anybody come by about the Bill Miller's property? Because it's sold.
Yeah, a couple of guys came by, they wanted to know if they needed a permit to do interior work on any of the buildings, and so far we don't issue permits for that. We told them if you add on or, you know, then they do, but that's all we know is the form. Do
Y'all
y'all
really
really?
cleaned up the fence line and really done a lot of work out there.
Do you know anything, Mike?
A family from the north side of San Antonio bought it for a farm.
Every second.
So
Oh,
they're
farm
gonna-
use?
They're gonna live on
Oh,
it.
Every second.
That's a good thing.
Every second. Every second.
Well-
Navarro?
no, I don't know.
Navarro's their last name.
Well, they keep it upright, that's a good thing, we don't have to worry about a bunch of houses.
Yeah, supposedly they're gonna renovate two of the houses, and everybody's gotta be out by like the 2nd of April or something like that. Who's anybody that's around there. There's two ranch hands fixing up the place. It's looking good.
Yeah, they really gone and really cleaned up
Right.
the fence line.
So, I don't know, something I wanted to ask, you know, when it changed hands, is that property gonna have to be rezoned to commercial property out the edge or no? It
No,
can stay as one part.
property stays residential, agricultural until the city changes it. It's
Yes,
Well, but
it's-
It's, right now, it's,
we have it changed.
we have,
But I didn't know when it would change. You know, it's already, I saw it somewhere, I saw it somewhere in our annexation, or
Okay.
it's 300 feet in.
yeah, that was done a long time ago.
But as
The
it
front-
stays one parcel, it's
If
okay.
it stays one parcel and it's commercial, they can use it as residential or commercial. If it's residential, you can only use it residential.
Okay.
Does that answer?
Yeah, so we're not gonna force them to change that to commercial, just because it changed hands, right?
It's zoned commercial, they can use it however they want, that 300 feet. They can use it for commercial or they can use it for
Are they
residential.
paying taxes on it as commercial?
There's nothing on it to
Yeah.
tax.
Except that.
It's ag though.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it's
Still
all
under
parcels
that,
still.
but we zoned it for
Okay.
commercial use, if someone wants to, they can.
Right, and then their taxes.
Right, or whatever they
Okay,
put on.
great. Yeah, thank you.
Motion
I
adjourned.
make a motion to adjourn the meeting.